हरि हरि बोल। ki. Iskcon Whitefield, save the whole world. Shri Prabhupada ki. Jai on the Shivrat, Paramahansa Kajai, Rasa Saraswati Kashi, Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki. Guru Parampara ki. Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki. Surim Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopina, Shankar Radhikandagiri Govardhan ki. Ram ki. Ram ki. Nath Puri ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Bhakti ki. Gaur Pramananda! Glory to the Son. Glory to the Son. Glory to the Son. Glory to Shri Guru and Shri Guru. This hall is not big enough. Why didn't they get a bigger hall? Huh? I didn't even see the ladies because they're squeezed in the back. In Pakistan, the ladies are on one side and men on the other side. But here in India, you just put them in the back, put them in the back. These are our mothers. And they can become beautiful. Jopiri, Devahuti. Don't offend them.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very much. It's so wonderful to see on the weekday we have so many devotees. Our kitchen team got a little tense because prasad was not cooked for everyone. Don't worry, they're planning to cook again now. Everyone will get prasad. We are so very fortunate that we have a senior disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ji. Holiness Trivikram Swami Maharaj ki. I'm sure everyone might have read Maharaj's wonderful, glorious introduction which we posted in the group. I'll just highlight few things. So Maharaj got in touch with Srila Prabhupada. He came in contact with Srila Prabhupada in 1969. 68. 1971, Srila Prabhupada awarded sannyas to dear Maharaj. So today morning, I attended Maharaj's class in SNGM, HBR layout, and after the class I asked this question, that what is the secret of your enthusiasm and so much of inspiration to continue with so much of zeal? And Maharaj gave answer in one word: Kirtan. And I think all of you had a glimpse of Maharaj's wonderful Kirtan. So it's our great fortune to hear from such great personalities of going all around the world just to purify the places and the people staying there. Today it's our turn, by Maharaj's presence, by his speech, now we'll get purified. So let's welcome Maharaj by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
That has inspired me to remain a devotee all these years is that how could I give up the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada was so kind to me. He picked me up. He saw that I was a Malecha and Yavana, but he still agreed to bring me close to his lotus feet. So I'll always be indebted to him, and I want to do things that are pleasing to him. This is the nature of love. We try to please the beloved. But in the material world, it's hardly love. Everybody loves themselves the most. Our children are born like that. Have you noticed? With the children, they're not saintly. Me. This is false ego. We're born with a false ego. I should be in the center. That's the mentality that brought us here to the material world. Because in the spiritual world, there's only one person in the center, Krishna. So if we want to put ourselves in the center, then we're asked, please, you go to the material world. You can imagine that you're in the center. And we see the history of humanity, one after the other, imagining that they should be Napoleon, I am France, and Hitler. These people are crazy, right? We can see they're crazy, but still, they influenced so many millions of people. The Germans weren't so stupid. How can they fall for that dialogue? I listened to one of his lectures, or whatever you call it. It didn't make any sense. It wasn't substantial. But because he spoke with so much enthusiasm, people, yeah, Heil Hitler. So this is the material world. It's not an easy thing to get out, but this is our job. And with Prabhupada's mercy, we can do it. So do we know any bhajans? Bhaja Mana, you know that?
Yes. Haribo.
Bhaja Mana, Sinandanandana. Right? The system is call and response. Shravanam Kirtan. Just listen. Bhaja Mana, Sinandanandana. Abhaya Charanara Vindure.
Bhaja Mana, Sinandanandana. Abhaya Charanara Vindure.
Bhaja Mana, Sinandanandana. Abhaya Charanara Vindure.
Bhaja Mana, Sinandanandana.
Dulavamanava janamata sange.
Dulavamanava janamata sange.
Dulavamanava janamata sange.
Dulavamanava janamata sange.
Arohe Baba Sindure.
Arohe Baba Sindure.
Arohe Baba Sindure.
Arohe Baba Sindure.
Chapa Padavari Jana Medina Jamini Sagire. Chapa Padavari Jana Medina Jamini Sagire. Vipale se vino Kripana Durjana. Vipale se vino Kripana Durjana. Kapala Chukalava Lagire. Kapala Chukalava Lagire. Dana Yovana Uchapari Dana Sitike Atipara Itire. Dana Yovana Uchapari Dana Sitike Atipara Itire. Dana Yovana Uchapari Dana Sitike Atipara Itire. Kamala Jala Jala Marana Vandana Parasevana Vacharaye
Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Padasevana Dasyate
Vana Kirtana Marana Vandana Parasevana Vacharaye
Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Padasevana Dasyate
Pujana Sakidana Advani Vedana
Pujana Sakidana Nivedana
Pujana Sakidana Advani Vedana
Pujana Sakidana Nivedana
Gatavi
Govinda Dasavi Asave
Gatavi
Govinda Dasavi Asave
Do we have translation in English?
Yes.
You don't know English? No.
Oh mind. Oh mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda,
Who is the son of Nanda?
which make one fearless.
This is an important point. We're going to the psychiatrist because we're in anxiety and we're afraid. Anxiety means we think there is some danger. But we can be free from all anxiety by Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada was so bold, at the same time so humble. He was ready to come to a foreign country, no money, no friends, seasickness on the boat, 2 heart attacks, and still he persevered. 1 year without much result, but he didn't get discouraged. He kept on. Shri Prabhupada ki.
Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence by associating with saintly persons. Day and night, I remain sleepless, suffering heat and cold, wind and rain. For a bit of flickering happiness, I have vainly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all one's wealth, youth, sons, and relatives? This life totters like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always worship the lotus feet of Lord Hari. Govinda Das longs to hear the glories of Lord Hari. Chant his glories, constantly remember him, offer him prayers, serve his lotus feet, become his servant, worship him, serve him as a friend, and completely offer him his very self.
Govinda Das ki. So one thing Prabhupada liked about this bhajan is it shows the negative side and the positive side. Most bhajans were just glorifying Krishna. But here, the poet is pointing out the material world, what assurance of real happiness. With all your family, you surround yourself. There's a verse like that in the Bhagavatam, how we surround ourselves with a family and we think it's going to protect us. You know why? Because we're cuckoo. The family can't save you. You're going to die. But people can't adjust to that. Bhagavad Gita is very clear. Anybody who's born has to die. That's our experience, right? Your grandfather died, his father died, his father died. So, but we think the most wonderful thing, Yudhishthira, the most wonderful thing, we see that death is coming, but we think, oh, it won't happen to me. This is insanity. We're going to die. So why not prepare for it? Just like if we want to go to the United States. Then you have to get a visa. You have to have a passport. You have to get a ticket. You have to do... But we're going on a big journey into death, but no preparation. Nobody's preparing for it. Just the devotees. Very rare that people are thinking, now I'm going on a big trip called death. What do I have to do to prepare for that? This is the purpose of human life. Vedanta Brahma Jigyasya. We should inquire. Like Sanat Goswami, when he came to Lord Chaitanya, he inquired, who am I? And why do I suffer? That's simple. He was the Prime Minister. Smart man. But people won't ask that kind of question. Who am I? Why am I suffering? They think, oh, that's for adolescents. You're going through a stage you're trying to adjust to who you are. No, nobody knows who they are. So Lord Chaitanya, how did he answer? He said, you're the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis who were serving Krishna in Vrindavan, and you're in distress because you don't know that. So if we get self-knowledge, who we are actually, then we won't be in anxiety. That was Prabhupada's position. We never saw him in anxiety. He was always smiling. He used to call, people would say, are you hippies? Then Prabhupada would say, no, we're happies. He was always joyful. And wishing us to be joyful. Signing his letter, every letter he wrote, your ever well-wisher. That was Prabhupada's position. He wanted everybody to go back to Godhead because he sees everybody suffering here. He was ready to preach, even to Indira Gandhi. Generally, sannyasis don't go to women for preaching. But Prabhupada went to her to get help for this movement. So, in other words, Prabhupada did everything he could to bring everybody back home, back to Godhead. And he told us, I was in the car, we're coming from Los Angeles on the morning walk. There were 3 sannyasis in the back, Srila Prabhupada was sitting in the front and the driver. The devotees didn't see us coming, we came a different way. And they were looking one direction, but we came in the other direction, on the other side. And they didn't see, but they were all on the street, so many devotees. We have a big, even still, big community there. And we own a block, like, and houses on both sides, so many children. And so, they didn't see us, but Prabhupada saw them. And suddenly he spoke from deep in his heart. He said, they cannot check this movement. This movement will go unchecked for the next 10,000 years. Of course, we have to cooperate. He promised if there's any danger, it will come from within our movement. That's the danger. We saw it already. Many gurus didn't know how to be gurus. They imitated instead of following in the footsteps. And there was havoc in some places. Here in India, you were fortunate. You had Jataka Maharaj, Gopal Maharaj, they staunch, remained steady. But in Europe, there was Harikesh. In America, there was Rameshwar and Hansaduda. They all just melted away because they imitated instead of following in the footsteps. And luckily, I wasn't given this position as a guru. I thought I might have been victim of it too. But the guru has to be the most humble. Once I was preaching, or not preaching, but encouraging Prabhupada. He was going to give a class. And previous class, people had challenged him, and he told one man, sit down, you are nonsense. It was in London. It was in London, the Hindus were coming in. So this man was saying, what about Lord Shiva? So Prabhupada explained, yes, Lord Shiva he has his own tattva, Shiva tattva, but he can't give liberation like Vishnu. Prabhupada explained. But he wasn't satisfied. So Prabhupada was speaking again more, and the man was again interrupting. He stood up, and Prabhupada said, sit down, you are nonsense. We were shocked because we never saw Prabhupada so bold. He was very humble in his own view. So, but I liked it. And the next day, I was giving massage. That was my service. I was the leading brahmachari, so when Prabhupada came, I would give it a massage. And he took the massage for 45 minutes, an hour. Vigorous massage, even. And the first day I gave massage, I said, Prabhupada, I never gave massage before, so maybe I should go to the library and get a book on how to give massage. You can learn, right? And Prabhupada said, not necessary. You read Bhagavad Gita and Krishna will tell you how to do it. So he was going to speak again that night, the next day, after he told that man to sit down, you are nonsense. And I was massaging, and I was thinking I'm getting him in shape for another knockout performance. I'm massaging and talking and massaging and talking, and my mood was, you and me, probably we could take over the world, which was offensive. Because we don't take over the world like that by being really charismatic or something. No. We take over the world by convincing the super soul and everybody else that we're on the right path, worshiping Krishna. And so the super soul will tell them, you should also worship Krishna. If we preach nicely, we don't force anybody. There's no question of forcing. But I was thinking, we could take over. So I was talking like that. I didn't say it in front of Prabhupada, we should take over the world, but I was thinking like that, and I was talking too much. I learned later you shouldn't talk much when Prabhupada was getting massage because he was resting. The doctors had recommended, he had a stroke, and they said massage was good for his circulation. So anyway, I was going on talking too much, and suddenly Prabhupada said, no! My hands froze on his body. And then he said with another voice, it's like a young child, like this child in the front, the three boys were here. Very sweet, simple voice, he said, I am just a humble servant. And I felt so embarrassed. I thought, I shouldn't be in the same room with this person. He's such an aristocrat, and I'm an ordinary suja off the street from New York. I shouldn't be, what to speak of touching his body? I shouldn't be allowed. And there was a throw rug there. She was under the wall. So Prabhupada made me humble a little bit because of he was teaching by example. He was genuinely humble. How is it possible? Because he was always thinking of his spiritual master and Krishna. And in that relationship, he was a humble servant. So he wasn't artificially humble. He just spoke from his heart. I am just a humble servant. As soon as you deviate from that, you think you want to be a great devotee. Bhakti Siddhanta says, be the opposite, be a good devotee. Good devotee means he does the needful, he cooperates, push on the movement. He doesn't look to be honored by others. This is one definition we have for humble. He doesn't seek the satisfaction of being honored by others. But it is very hard because the ego likes that. Likes to be glorified. Likes to be in the center. That's our disease. We have to give up that disease from the core, from the roots, and understand we're a servant of the servant of the servant, 100 times removed. This is our actual identity. Okay, I'm talking too much. Maybe we should have a verse. Srila Prabhupada's words. I wanted to read from chapter 8. Text 14. Now it's connected. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 8:14. What's the name of this chapter? Attaining the Supreme? Or something? Huh? Attaining the Supreme. Ananyena cheta satatam. Ananya cheta satatam. Yomam smarati nityasaha. Yomam smarati nityasaha. Tasyaham sulabha partha. Tasyaham sulabha partha. Nityayuktasya yogina. Nityayuktasya yogina. Oh. These boys sing with a very nice tune. I don't know the tune. Bolo. Who knows it?
I think it's the verse.
Oh, I have. You get the same picture I am.
Yes.
I see. Go ahead.
Ananya cheta satatam.
Ananya cheta satatam.
Yomam smarati nityasaha.
Yomam smarati nityasaha.
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
Nityayuktasya yogina.
मां स्मरति नित्यशः
यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः
तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ
तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ
नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिना
नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिना
Mataji's.
अनन्यचेता सततम्
अनन्यचेता सततम्
यो मां स्मरति नित्यसः
यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः
तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ
तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ
नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिनः
नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिनः
अनन्यचेता सततम्
अनन्यचेता सततम्
यो मां स्मरति नित्यसः
यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः
तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ
तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ
नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिनः
नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिनः
अनन्यचेता सततम्
अनन्यचेता सततम् यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिनः
Ananya Chetaha. Without deviation of the mind.
without deviation of the mind.
Satatam. Always. Ya. Anyone who. Mam. Me. Krishna. Smarati. Remembers. Nichasaha. Regularly. Tasya. To him. Aham. I am. Sulabha. Very easy to achieve. Partha. Or son of Prita. Nitya regularly. Yuktasaha. Engaged. Yogina. For the devotee. Translation and purport. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Prita, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Responsibly. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I'm easy to obtain. O son of Prita, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So this is our goal, to always remember Krishna and never forget him. But it's not so easy because we have so many things that distract us in the world of Maya. Once Prabhupada came to London and the next morning, he came in the evening, the next morning he met all the devotees in the temple. And the wife of the temple president, temple president is Mukunda, his wife is Janaki. She spoke in a very emotional, feeling way. She said, Prabhupada, you're so wonderful. You want to save the whole world. And Prabhupada was grave, and he said, yes. But it's not an easy job because this is Maya's kingdom. So it is the fact. Everybody's in Maya. And sometimes we are too. So we have to struggle to remember. The main struggle is with the mind. The mind is our best friend or our worst enemy. But if we bring the mind under control, then it's easy to remember. But it's not so easy. Because even, who was it? Vashishta, Vishwamitra, who heard the tingling ankle bells? Vishwamitra. And he broke out of his meditation and he copulated with that beautiful woman. And Shakuntala was born from that. Menaka. Okay, so we want to, in other words, it's a struggle. Don't think, okay, I'm coming and I'll chant a few days and I'm going to see Krishna. It used to be, when I was first coming, there was a devotee like that. He already decided he was a gopi. And so these, we have to qualify. First we should think how we're qualified and how the quality of our chanting is. Like one day Prabhupada called me, coming for giving massage on time. The Prophet wasn't ready. He was doing some correspondence. So I was sitting there, and he was writing something just a few feet away. And I had my beads, so I started chanting. And suddenly Prabhupada stopped what he was doing and looked at me and he said, "Do you listen when you chant Hare Krishna?" So I started to make some excuse in my mind. Of course I listen. Otherwise, why am I doing it? And I thought like that. But before I could speak, Prabhupada said, "I know you listen. But you have to listen very carefully. Because this chanting is the whole essence of our philosophy." So we can think of that. The mind is going here, the mind is going here. But we have to bring it back to hearing. That's why we say Shravanam Kirtanam. First is Shravan. We should hear from the spiritual master. We should hear from the lead singer. Then we respond. But the first is very important, hearing. And when we're japa, the whole thing is hearing. So that's helped me over the years also, that I try to improve my japa. Okay? So you can all work on that. Quality and quantity both, we can improve. I would like us to chant at least 25 rounds on the Ekadasi. Okay. Purport. This verse especially describes the final destination attained by the unalloyed devotees who serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhakti Yoga. So that's why Prabhupada is using this word. What was the word he used? Engagement in devotional service. Okay. And he changes also in the word for word. Yogina, he says for the devotee. So he's talking about the Bhakti Yoga in this verse. This is what Krishna is talking about. One who always remembers him is a Bhakti Yoga. Purport. Previous verses have mentioned 4 different kinds of devotees. The distressed, the inquisitive, those who seek material gain, and the speculative philosophers. Different processes of liberation have also been described. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Hatha Yoga. The principles of these yoga systems have been some bhakti added, but this verse particularly mentions pure Bhakti Yoga, without any mixture of Jnana, Karma, or Hatha, as indicated by the word Ananya Chita. In pure Bhakti Yoga, the devotee desires nothing but Krishna. The pure devotee does not desire promotion to heavenly planets, nor does he seek oneness with the Brahmajyoti, or salvation or liberation from material entanglement. A pure devotee does not desire anything. He does desire, but he desires to please Krishna. That's his desire. But that's an advanced stage. Everybody in the material world loves himself the most. We see it in our children. And it's a fact. We see it in ordinary life. You have to count your change because we can easily be cheated. So, we want to get out of this world. The only way to get out is to become a pure Bhakti Yoga, especially in this age of Kali. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, he's given us the easy method of Bhakti Yoga. We don't have to change our position. You don't have to wear saffron and shave your head. Of course, if you want to, we won't object. but still, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was ideal grihastha. They had 10 children. We're not against sex life. Prabhupada had 5 children. But it should be, like Krishna says in the 7th chapter, text 11, that I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principle. So of course, this is the biggest binding principle, family and sex life. They keep us tethered, means tied up to the material body, and we identify the body as the self. And so at the time of death, we get another body, because that's conscious. But here, Krishna is recommending that no, think about him at the time of death. This is the whole purpose. To always remember Krishna and never forget him. And it's so. See, now my consciousness is diverted to the child. So many diversions we'll find in this, on our path. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya stressed the first principle is to be tolerant. Now I cause I pay you to cry more. Tolerance. But Prabhupada asked mothers to take the children out of the cliffs also. I don't feel so bad. He did. Because when we're speaking, then we're formulating the words, and it's easy to forget what we were just saying. And I do that sometimes. What was I just saying? And so we have to fix ourselves on the speaking. We can easily speak incorrectly if we're not careful. So Prabhupada was expert at that. And wherever he went, he always had kirtan, but he always spoke something also. Always. That was the process. To explain the little philosophy to people. There's a big philosophy behind this chanting Hare Krishna. It's not just some sentimental thing, jumping, screaming. No, there's a unique and, what's the word? Oceanic philosophy. Was it Jiva Goswami, the greatest philosopher that ever lived? So many books on philosophy. And what has Prabhupada has given us? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, so many volumes. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita alone is enough to save us, if we just really understand it. Have to understand. But we have a plethora of literature we should take advantage of. Prabhupada spent his days, his nights, 2 or 3 hours every night. He was up in the middle of the night. He would take a little rest at 8 o'clock, get up at 11, and work until 2. He dictated every night. And therefore he was able to compile so many books. And he told us, I'm writing these books for you, not just for selling, make a profit or something. No. He was writing for his followers and for all of you. And therefore he told us that they said, Prabhupada, when you leave, who? He said, I'll never leave, I'm here in my books. That's a fact. Prabhupada is there. But still we don't adhere to this Ritvic philosophy. Ritvic philosophy, they're insulting Prabhupada. They're saying Prabhupada is on the position that he can change Dharma. But we know, Dharma to Shakshat Bhagavan. Dharma is coming from God. And part of that Dharma is Evam Parampara. Krishna was coming to reestablish it because it appeared to be lost. So this is a very important Dharma. Parampara. So how could the Prabhupada change that? He's a jiva. He doesn't have the authority to change the Parampara and say, I'm the last guru. I'll be initiating everybody for the next 10,000 years. No. That's a dangerous, wrong philosophy. I'm just speaking because they have a big temple here, right? So you should learn how to confront them. Maybe we can bring some back. They're going astray, but this Madhu Pandit guy is deviating them. I had visited that temple when Madhu Pandit was still an Iskcon man. And it was a wonderful temple, and they were built. So we don't hate the sin. We don't hate the sin, and we hate the sin. The sin is he's deviating from the parampara and saying that now the parampara stopped. Krishna came to reestablish parampara, and they're saying Prabhupada came to stop parampara. So that's not even logical. Okay? Any questions on that point? Any Ritvics here? A pure devotee does not desire anything, but I mentioned he does desire to please the Lord. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pure devotee is called Naish Karma, which means he has no desire for self-interest. Perfect peace belongs to him alone, not to those who strive for personal gain. Whereas a jnani Jnani Yoga, Karma Yogi, or Hatha Yogi has his own selfish interest. A perfect devotee has no desire other than to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord says that for anyone who is unflinchingly devoted to Him, He is easy to attain. That verse is there, right? 7:14. What is it? So the first half of the verse, Krishna says, I'm easy to attain. The second half, the qualification is there, for one who surrenders to me. So it's in our hand. We want to surrender to Krishna, or we want to keep our mind as our guru. Mind is our guru. He's taking us here and there. And the mind is material. And it follows the senses. Yeah, go to the cinema. There's a good movie. Go, yeah, do it. Read this book. It's really got some hot scenes. And, like that. The senses are directing and pulling. And the mind goes along. The mind is the sixth sense. But it's material. We want to come to the spiritual intelligence. Intelligence is higher. So proper use of intelligence will help us. We're looking for intelligence. We don't want blind followers. Prabhupada never wanted blind followers. He wanted them to be thoughtful, to understand this on their own and accept it. Yes, this is the right philosophy. This is spotless. Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. It's coming from the spiritual world. It's not man-made. And then we can be convinced and follow with enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, Rupa Goswami says, is a very important quality. And we should be enthusiastic. I'll give you an example. Like Prabhupada once called me in his room in Calcutta, and he said, we just got a letter from a Mr. Gajah, who was the president of DuPont Chemical Company in Taipei, Taiwan. So I want you to go there. He's offering to give us some money for support. So I want you to take a few brahmacharis and go there and open a center. So my first reaction was, oh no. The Chinese, the Chinese were tough. We didn't have so many Chinese hippies. They were always very expert at manipulating the material energy, and they're still doing it, right? Godless people. They are. Where's their God? Money and power. That's all. What is after power and money? Because money will give you power. But this is competing with Krishna. Krishna is all powerful. What are you going to do? He's going to defeat you. You're going to get old and die. What's the use of your power? You can influence a few people, or even thousands of people, but still, it's not going to benefit them or you. So give up the quest for power. We shouldn't be after power. Krishna is the all-powerful. If we go to his feet, he'll help us if we need to be powerful, just like Prabhupada. When he needed to be strong, he was, sit down, you are nonsense. So we can be strong, but it should be on behalf of Krishna. I'll tell you another story where Prabhupada got angry. This is early days, 69, and Prabhupada came to the university where we were. We had a preaching center in Buffalo, New York. And he said, he stayed there, and then we arranged a program at the other big university in the same city, the State College. So we went there, and we had Kirtan like we usually do. Prabhupada led the Kirtan, and then Jai Om prayers, we all bowed down, and then Prabhupada gave a lecture. So after the lecture, Prabhupada asked for questions. So one person, he sat behind me on the left side. I didn't see his face very clearly. And he said, I have a question. Why is all these people are bowing down and going, blah, 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 blah. He was making fun of the devotees, how they pay obeisances. So when Prabhupada realized that that's what he was doing, suddenly a bolt of energy, I don't know exactly what he said, but a bolt of energy flew over my left shoulder, right into the sky. And I looked at him and he was like stunned. He didn't think his old man had that kind of energy. And then, but we went on with the program. Next morning, and we were on the other side of town. 7 o'clock in the morning, this guy is standing across the street from the temple. And he's looking, and you can read his mind, he's looking, what the hell was it that hit me last night? That was his mind. What happened to me? So just that Prabhupada's anger penetrated him, and he was a big devotee for years and years. He left his body now, but he's did a lot of service. He started one Krishna Institute. Yeah, he printed so many books. Pure devotee, if he's giving you attention, that means you have a chance. When he becomes indifferent, then you're in danger. So sometimes Prabhupada became indifferent to his disciples also. He saw, then you think, oh, he's hopeless, so why should I give more energy? But if he thinks there's a chance, then he just chastises. And he was chastising me a lot. So that's good. He thought I was redeemable. But it wasn't so much fun when you were under the blaze of the sharp words. No, but I never resented it because I knew he was my well-wisher. I really did. That he wasn't envious of me. So why, if he gets angry with me, it's for my benefit. I was able to accept that from the beginning. That was my good fortune. I never doubted Prabhupada's position as a well-wisher. Okay, where are we? For unflinching devotee, he is easy to attain. A pure devotee always engages in devotional service to Krishna in one of his various personal features. Krishna has various plenary expansions and incarnations such as Rama and Nrsimha, and the devotee can choose to fix his mind in loving service to any of these transcendental forms of the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee meets with none of the problems that plague the practitioners of other yogas. Bhakti yoga is very simple and pure and easy to perform. One can begin by simply chanting Hare Krishna. The Lord is merciful to all, but as we have already explained, He is especially inclined to those who always serve Him without deviation. The Lord helps such devotees in various ways. So I find that to be the case. He helps us overcome our weaknesses. Everybody has some weakness. Even those who are very strong, their weaknesses are there. Nobody is strong in the material world. So we're coming from the material world. We shouldn't be proud. We should see that I need help. This is the problem. People don't come to the first step, that I need help. They're too proud. You ask the man, he's lying in bed, he's being fed intravenously. Somebody's collecting his bedpan with stool and urine. If you ask him, how are you? I'm okay. Everybody thinks they're okay. I just noticed it the other day. We were on Harinam in a park. In America, we have parks. We have parks here too. So anyway, we had a table and the books, and people were going by, and one devotee was offering people. And everybody said, who didn't want the book, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. So this is the first step. We have to admit we're not okay. It's not so easy. Especially a young man. What do you mean I'm not okay? I'm so how to admit we're not okay? To be in touch with reality. We're not okay. We're subjected to all days, disease, and death. We're subjected to trouble from other living entities, from our own mind and body, from the nature. We're in an awkward position. We like to control, but we can't. We're controlled. Just like now, we're sitting discussing philosophy. But what if there's no supply of air? What is our position? There's no supply of air. If there's zero supply of air, what is our position? We choke in a minute. So we're dependent on the air, we're dependent on the sun, we're dependent on food. But Krishna, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanam Chaitanam. He is also eternal, he's also a living entity, but he's independent. He's not dependent on anything. Of course, sometimes it seems like he's dependent on Radharani. But that's loving exchange, that's Yoga Maya. We better not get into that subject, it's too advanced for us. Okay, so the Lord helps such devotees in various ways. As stated in the Vedas, Katha Upanishad 1:2-23, Yam Evaisya Vrinute Tena Lavas Asya Atma. I said it wrong. Shraman, who knows Sanskrit? Come on. Yam. Thank you. One who is fully surrendered and engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand the Lord, the Supreme Lord, as He is. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10:10, the Dami Buddhi Yogantam. The Lord gives such a devotee sufficient intelligence so that ultimately the devotee can attain Him in His spiritual kingdom. So this is what we want. Tesham Satyayuktanam, Bhajatam Siddhi. The Dami, Krishna will give you the intelligence that you can come to Him if you remain devoted to Him. It may take some time, but that's His promise. So our future is very bright for us. We remain connected and keep this process of chanting Hare Krishna. We may fall down, but then we get up and keep walking, like a child learning how to walk. It's not surprising that they fall down, but they don't hesitate to get up and try to keep, because they see everybody is walking. Sometimes the children are grown up by wolves or something. They don't learn how to walk on two legs. Because the animal, the mother and father, they're all crossed. So the child is 14 or 15, they're still going on their hands and legs. Because we need an example. That's why we say without somebody like Srila Prabhupada coming and giving his example as well as his precept, we wouldn't become devotees. I would have never become a devotee just reading Bhagavad Gita. But when Prabhupada is reading, when his purports are so authoritative, that this person is really got something. So we should be humble enough to accept it and take it seriously. Tivrena Bhakti Yoga. Intensely. We have to come to the point of intense devotion. One-pointed. What is that? 241? Prabhupada said about himself that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, to that verse, inspired him so much to take the order of his spiritual master as his life and soul. And at the end, Prabhupada would say, I don't know how this wonderful thing has happened, because the movement was like really spreading like wildfire. I don't know how this wonderful thing happened. The only qualification I see in myself is I took the order of my spiritual master as my life and soul. So we can also take Prabhupada's order. What is the order? Keep the Acharya in the center. Where's Prabhupada? Yeah. Keep the Acharya in the center. And chant Hare Krishna. And you cooperate together. That was what I forgot. Keep the Acharya in the center. He told us at the end. And cooperate together. And then we'll meet again in the spiritual world. That was, once a devotee had a dream, he told Prabhupada, Prabhupada had a dream that we were all together in the spiritual world. And Prabhupada said, thank you very much. That's what Prabhupada wants. We can all meet again in the spiritual world. Nobody can check us. Maya will congratulate us, like she did with Haridas Thakur. It's not the stupid conception of a devil who takes happiness to see us burn forever and ever in hell. This is a wrong idea. No, God is a loving Father. He's our Father. The Christians also say He's our Father who art in heaven. Then what kind of Father is that that's going to send His children to eternal damnation? Can any ordinary man do that with his own children? But Krishna clearly says, Mama Vamsa Jiva, okay, we're his particles. We're part of him. So he's always trying to save us. He's coming, speaking Bhagavad Gita. He's coming to his representatives. Even Muhammad, some kind of method of getting people to stop having sex with their mother. That's an improvement, right? What else did he do? Muhammad taught them to pray 5 times a day. Of course, they become fanatical. That's the danger. Without philosophy, religion either becomes sentiment or fanaticism. Therefore, we want to stay focused on the philosophy. That's why we should give class whenever we come together to chant. Otherwise, we can become sahajiyat. Haribol Yama, but we don't know. Why are you chanting? Oh, I don't know. No, we have to know what is the chanting, what is the root of it. It's a wonderful philosophy. Okay, of course, even if you're chanting without proper knowledge, you can still get some benefit, but still, Prabhupada expected us to know. He said, I'm writing these books for my followers, including you. The special qualification of the pure devotee is that he is always thinking of Krishna without deviation and without considering the time or place. There should be no impediments. Why would it be impediment? Krishna is everywhere, everything. He's the taste of water, he's the ability of men. We can always remember him. He should be able to carry out his service anywhere and at any time. Some say the devotee should remain in holy places like Vrindavan or some holy town where the Lord lived. But a pure devotee can live anywhere and create the atmosphere of Vrindavan by his devotional service. It is said Shri Advaita told Lord Chaitanya, wherever you are, O Lord, there is Vrindavan. As indicated by the word satatam and nitya saha, which means always, regularly, or every day, a pure devotee constantly remembers Krishna and meditates upon him. These are qualifications of a pure devotee, for whom the Lord is easily attainable. Bhakti Yoga is a system that the Gita recommends above all others. Generally, the Bhakti Yogis are engaged in 5 different ways. Number 1, Santa Bhaktya, engaged in devotional service in neutrality. 2, Dasya Bhakta, engaged in devotional service as a servant. 3, Shakya Bhakti, engaged as a friend. 4, Vatsalya Bhakti, engaged as a parent. And 5, Madhurya Bhakti, engaged as a conjugal lover of the Supreme Lord. In any of these ways, the pure devotee is always constantly engaged in the treasured loving service of the Supreme Lord and cannot forget the Supreme Lord. And so for him, the Lord is easily attained. A pure devotee cannot forget the Supreme Lord for a moment, and similarly, the Supreme Lord cannot forget his pure devotee for a moment. This is a great blessing of the Krishna conscious movement process of the Maha Mantra, of chanting the Maha Mantra. What is that mantra?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So not very difficult, as long as you chanting. No matter what happens, don't stop chanting. Okay, I'll stop here. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. And I'm very thankful for the wonderful class. You emphasized on the Prabhupada's quality of being humble and with great humility. Yesterday also you emphasized on this point. So that is the essence of all the qualities. But apart from that, this wonderful quality, what other qualities of Prabhupada struck you in the beginning and through the course of your continued service in this moment till date? So what were those qualities which you really...
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all false sense of prestige, ready to offer service. So it's not one quality, it's so many qualities. Like Krishna, the one thing that impressed me very much about Srila Prabhupada, that he was always ready to talk to people about Krishna. You know, most famous people, they don't want to waste time talking to ordinary people. That might sort of do that. But Prabhupada, especially in the beginning days, he was ready to sit and talk. Mukunda, it's like the first devotee. And he was coming to Prabhupada. And he understood Prabhupada was a like a famous person. He knew Sanskrit. He was a scholar. But Mukunda commented me. I was surprised because he was ready to give me as much time as I wanted. So that was Prabhupada's qualification that I saw. That was outstanding. He was never tired of talking to people about Krishna. And that's what he did, and that's why so many of us were attracted. He gave us time. So if you want to make devotee, you should spend quality time with those who are serious. And that we have to find out who is serious. We should preach to the faithful and innocent. Avoid the atheists. Don't waste time with them. If they don't want to hear about Krishna, that's okay. That's their business. Worship the Lord in the temple, make friends with the devotee. These 4 things. Second-class devotee. Prabhupada wanted us to become second-class devotees. So again, preaching to the innocent. So then Prabhupada said, well, how do we know who's innocent? And Prabhupada said, yes, anybody who will hear from you is innocent. So if they're lending a submissive ear, go on preaching. We have so much information. And if you don't feel comfortable preaching in so much, give them a book. But please read this book. It's not an ordinary book. So we have books, right? We have pamphlets and so on. So keep the wheel turning. Prabhupada once told us that that's this emblem of the Indian Railway. We keep the wheel turning. So he said that's a very good instruction. Keep the wheel turning means preach. We should always be preaching. And at the end of the Gita, after Krishna tells us to surrender to him, the next couple of verses, 68 and 69, Krishna says, no one is more dear to me than those who explain this subject to innocent people. No one is more dear. Nor will there ever be anyone more dear in the future. So Krishna loves the preachers. We want to get Krishna's favor. Talk to people about Krishna. You have a chance. Your country is open, right? Maybe the Muslims will like it, but there's so many Hindus. Talk to them about Krishna. Tell them that you're a devotee and here's our center. You must be doing that because every time the crowd gets bigger. Right? So that's your qualification. I'm glorifying you and you're saying Hari Bol. I'm glorifying you for bringing so many people. We can't even fit. How many people came tonight? Yeah. Next time, you want to invite me, we have to have a bigger hall. Somehow you must be able to find it. And this is a Monday night. I thought there'd be 10 to 12 people. But that's inspiring, you know, because the speaker likes to have people who hear. Otherwise, it becomes chewing the chewed. Okay? Next question.
So Maharaj, thank you so much for your enlightening classes. So Maharaj, as you were very close to Srila Prabhupada, so what was that moment when you realized that he is a pure devotee? Like how you understood that yes, this person is a pure devotee and I should surrender to him?
Yeah, I think it was during that period when I was giving massage every day. First, just by touching his body every day, like vigorously. We massaged his head with sandalwood oil, and then the rest of his body with mustard seed oil. And he liked a vigorous massage. And whenever I did it, which was every day, I felt the lust disappeared from my heart. And I thought, wow, this is wonderful. And that's why I wanted to go with him when he left. And I used to ask him sometimes if I could go with you. And Prabhupada said, let us see what Krishna wants. So about a week before he left, his servant came and said, stop bothering Prabhupada about coming to America because he's already agreed that Upendra, who is an old devotee, Upendra is going to be giving massage to Prabhupada when we arrive in America. So don't bother him about you coming. So I thought, well, maybe it's true. But I was driving Prabhupada in the car the same morning, just Srila Prabhupada and I. And I said to Srila Prabhupada, Purushottam, that was his servant. Purushottam told me today, Prabhupada, that Upendra is going to be giving you massage when you come to America. And Prabhupada responded with utter silence. Just the two of us in the car. He's this far away from me. I spoke very clearly. Utter silence. So then I thought, it's true. And I reconciled to it. I thought, well, it's not the end of the world. And I had my service, and so I reconciled to it. But the silence was still there. So how to break the silence? So I said to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, I never met Upendra. Is he a nice boy? And Prabhupada turned to me in a very loving way. He said, not as nice as you. You went right into my heart. It's true, he loved us. He loves you also. He loves everyone because we're part of Krishna. He loves Krishna, he loves his parts and parts. That's why he took so much trouble to preach in his old age, with ill health, seasickness and heart attack. He went on preaching because he loves everyone. That's why we sometimes say, if Guru and Govinda come in front, first you should go to Guru. He's the one who's saving us. He's coming out. Krishna's been in America for thousands of years, but nobody became his devotee. Even Bhagavad Gita, Thoreau and Emerson, nobody became a devotee. We needed somebody like Prabhupada to show us what is a devotee. So then I became captured. I said, my God, this man really loves me. And so then how can I give up my service to such a person? Prabhupada ki. Okay, next question.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for the enlightening class. So the one point which I take from this humility of Prabhupada, which you explained, was very, very touching. So my question to you is, Prabhupada told you to open the preaching center in Taiwan. So what was the further, and how could you get the mood to go to a new place where without anything?
That's a good question. Yeah, he gave us that order, and then I collected a few brahmacharis who were up for it, and we went on the street and gave people incense sticks and asked them. My spiritual master sent me to overseas to push on. Can you help me with buying a ticket? He didn't just say, okay, you want to go? I'm sending you, here's the money for the airline. You have to go on the street and hustle it. Brahmachari, we can beg. So that's what we did. We begged the money, and we all four of us went there, and we established a center. It was a little difficulty, but it's still going on. I think I haven't been back in some years, but the center was established, and Prabhupada was satisfied. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, because Prabhupada was so enthusiastic, it became contagious. My first reaction was, oh no, the Chinese. But by the time I came out of the room, Prabhupada's enthusiasm was catching, and he made me enthusiastic. Yeah, we're going to China. Prabhupada was like that. He said once that this woman is spread on enthusiasm. He was talking about his own enthusiasm. He was always enthusiastic to preach it. Prabhupada ki. Any more?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat. Thank you for wonderful lecture. Maharaj I was inquisitive to know how did you come to Krishna consciousness and how did you find Srila Prabhupada, or how Srila Prabhupada found you, either ways.
Yeah, I was looking. I was a student, but I wasn't satisfied with life. I was looking for a spiritual life. But as usual, I connected with some yogis or so. But this is the yoga meditation. We would sit very quietly, and the yoga teacher would say, "Be still, and know that you are God." But then I kept looking, and by good fortune, the devotees opened a center in the campus where I was a student. And actually, Burjan, is he coming here?
Next week.
Burjan Prabhu.
He's coming.
He was the first devotee I met in 1968. He's an old-time devotee. And he helped me a lot to become a devotee. And I saw him, I knew him from school, and I said, he had a bead bag. So I said, what happened, you hurt your hand? And then he took out the beads and he showed me, he said, no, it's any hurt. He said, this is our temple. And we happen to be very close to where the temple was. So I started going there, and then the rest is history. Especially, I like two things. Kirtan and Prasad. I was living alone, eating peanut butter sandwiches. And I saw all this wonderful Prasad. After the Kirtan, so it was like a double whammy. Kirtan was the first time I was in the Kirtan. When we finished, I asked the devotees, what do you call that, what we just did? They said, that's Kirtan. I said, oh, no. I thought it was something I'd never experienced before. It's like, straight and then. So this way, I became a devotee. That also, the temple was there, but I had my own apartment. So after, I would come sometimes, I'd get up early, go to Mangalarti, and go to the temple. I couldn't do it every day, but some days. And I found that by doing that, I did better in school. It made me wide awake, and by the Devotees Association, I gave up smoking. See, I was such a rascal, smoking. I gave it up. It was hard. You get addicted. I mean, I quit smoking 30 times. It was hard. But when I became a devotee, then I had something better to do with my hands. And instead of packing a cigarette, I took the beads. So gradually I lost, and I did better in school. I really did. I moved in the temple, and everything improved. My health improved, my grades improved, and I'm still going on. I'm 84 this year. 84, right? That's pretty good. Is anybody 84 here? Mataji? No. And you get happier. That's the point. Because why? It's a dynamic process. You're getting closer to Krishna. Krishna's reciprocating more. So the more you surrender, the more you persevere, even in troublesome times. And then the more closer you get to Krishna. Just like I went through a troublesome time. I was temple president in Orlando, Florida for 10 years. But the grihastas didn't like me because I was trying to make brahmacharis. So they convinced the GBC to get rid of me. And that was the best thing that happened to me. Then I started traveling and preaching more and more. And Prabhupada liked that for the sannyasis. And that's all I do now. I don't really have a base. I just travel and preach. And it's a little inconvenient sometimes, but it's very enlivening. Like you can imagine, every night I see a crowd like this, and they're all going, Haribo, Haribo. So I feel inspired. So even a difficult situation, just like Prabhupada, he was thinking he's going to make a lot of money, and with that money he was going to preach and open centers. But he said Krishna had a different idea. He took everything from me and sent me out penniless to the West with a trunk full of books. But what did Prabhupada was able to do with that? So we should try to see like that. That's okay. What is the verse? Translation. This is very, Prabhupada said this verse is applicable to all people at all times. So we can wait a second to find a verse, and this is a very important verse.
This is 10:14:8. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him.
Okay, one who waits for you to what?
Bestow your causeless mercy upon him.
So we're waiting for the causeless mercy of the Lord. We have to wait patiently. So mostly it's a waiting game. And we get bored waiting, so we go away. No, you have to wait patiently, and Krishna will pray.
All the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim.
But generally we see people blame Krishna. And he's just there. I'm good, but why didn't Krishna help me? Why didn't Krishna? No, he's not your order supplier. He's giving you difficulties to purify you. And we're all going to have difficulties. The Pandavas had so many difficulties. Their wife was insulted. They were sent into exile. They were very close with Krishna. Why did Krishna allow us to have it? That's the way we get, like Bali Maharaj is saying. He was insulted in front of his wife even. But still, because he remained determined, said, no, I'm not impressed with you, Krishna, because unless you remove yourself from the core of my heart, I won't give up on you. So we should not give up on Krishna. He's our well-wishing friend. He may treat you roughly in your embrace. What is that? Even if you treat me roughly in embrace, you make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. Still, you're my Lord, unconditionally. Okay, last question. Oh, Mataji. Any questions in the Mataji? Nobody raised their hand. And we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Jai. Prabhupada ki. Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. This was such a wonderful time with Maharaj. Such a wonderful kirtan. And after that, this wonderful katha. And so many wonderful personal pastimes with A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So thank you very much, Maharaj. Your enthusiasm was really contagious. So I'm sure all the devotees are now fully charged and ready to preach as you instructed all of us. So let's thank Maharaj for loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
So, Hare Krishna, we have a small video of Prabhupada's pictures with Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Trikram Maharaj, from the collection of BBT archives. It's just 1 minute 20 seconds, Maharaj.
Slowly, slowly, move the camera slowly. Kira is Govardhan there. And we have a retreat session here, just waiting for you to come and give classes and seminars.
This is an invitation from Burijan Prabhu to organize
Yeah. See you soon, Krishna willing. Hare Krishna. What a wonderful book and what a wonderful title and what a wonderful Trivikram. And Krishna willing, we will see you soon and talk to you even sooner. Hare Krishna.
Do what passes score?
Hare Krishna. Well, thank you all devotees for your wonderful, enthusiastic participation and extraordinary hospitality and welcoming Maharaj. I hope you all had an enlightening session. So I have a small announcement about the book of Maharaj. It's titled as Priceless Moments with a Pure Devotee. So Maharaj had so many wonderful pastimes with Srila Prabhupada, so many exchanges, so many services, lot of opportunities to render services. And Prabhupada has delivered nectarian instructions and pastimes. Each pastime is in itself a profound message. All such nice pastimes have been incorporated in this book by our dear Maharaj. And this book has been well received all over the Iskcon among very senior Vaishnavas. Like just now you have seen it, Burijan Prabhu. This book also has been well received by His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj, Indradana Maharaj, Satsarup Maharaj. In fact, Satsarup Maharaj has written the afterword and foreword for this book. Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, Panchagauda Prabhu, Shrutakirti Prabhu, Harishauri Prabhu, and the list goes on. So I request all the devotees to kindly avail this opportunity to have this book. And today is very wonderful occasion that Maharaj is personally signing the book and handing over to the devotees. So this is a priceless moments book. It is really priceless, but we charge a minimum of 200 rupees. So 200 rupees. But this is only a minimum, so you can, it's priceless. Whatever you will is 200 rupees a lot? Hare Krishna. So devotees can kindly come by one line. Mataji is from this side and Prabhu is from this side. We have enough books. We have more books in Bangalore. So if the books fall short, please give me names. I can send the books personally signed by Maharaj tomorrow morning, right away.
Share the QR code.
Yes. So we have QR code, and if the limit exceeds, so one Prabhu can help me in collecting the shares. Hare Krishna. So Kirtan can go on in the background, Prabhu, by Maharaj. Would you like to make any announcement?
Hare Krishna. So the Sadhu Sangha festival continues tomorrow also. So tomorrow evening we have presence of His Holiness Bhakti Prachar Parivrajak Swami Maharaj. So you all are invited, same time, 6:30. And also mark your calendar, February 4th, 5th, 6th. And also that weekend we'll be having the personal association of the one who spoke in the video. Burijan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, and also we have birthday of our dear Brahmachari, Purit Prabhu. So I request all the devotees present here now to please bless him by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Once again.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare.
Now you're 1 year closer to death.
So please come forward and receive the book from Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Prasadam is served upstairs. Please honor Prasadam. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, please. Mother is also to get. They are Hare Krishna, Maharaj is like to farm of you, please. Farm of you, not devotees, please farm of you. Someone just come farm of you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, please farm of you. QR code मिलेगा माता जी हाँ हो गया हरे कृष्णा प्लीज bless us to
We can roll the mats. Some devotees can also roll the mats.
Prabhu, one here, one here. Yes, yes.
Thank you.